sure it's beautiful. Sun is shining here today. It really is a beautiful day outside, and but you know what? We're gonna make it beautiful to be inside, so that's why we're here. We're going to do a little reading of The Dot by Peter H. Reynolds, and then we're going to do a little art project after. And good morning, Nicole Noel. Along with that, I know that Miss Natalia, Lily, and Bella are probably watching along, so good morning, girls. Morning, Sarah. Hope you and Lucas are joining me. Thanks for joining me. Hey, Emma. Good morning. Good morning. I am so grateful to be able to share this with you all this morning. I am just, I downloaded an app a few weeks ago called I Am, and it's actually an app you pay for, and I don't normally do that, but it has been one of the greatest things. It sends me positive affirmations randomly throughout the day. So this morning, my first affirmation of the day is, I am grateful for what I have. And boy, is that not the truth right now. I am so very grateful for what I have. I'm very, very grateful to be able to share my love of creativity and art with you. And why not throw in a story? Everybody needs to read a good book every once in a while. So, good morning, Miss Melanie. Lovely to see you. I'm going to check the time here. We're getting right at 11 o'clock. Oh, there's my family. Good morning, fam. Hi, Chase and Cassie, Caitlin, Elizabeth. I doubt Sean's watching. My brother, he's probably out doing roofs or something. So if we, let's give just a few more minutes while everybody pops on. I'm going to go ahead. Well, hey, Mac. Lovely to see you. Well, not see you, but see that you're joining us this morning. All right, I'm going to run through what I've got. So this little art project, anybody can do with anything. So I've got my acrylic paints already out, and I'm going to show you how to do a little bit more. I've got my markers, all over the table now. I have got watercolor paints. I've got coloring pencils. I've got crayons. How wonderful. Hey, Audrey, and hey, Hazel. Good morning. And then, since we're reading The Dot, I collected a bunch of little circular stuff. So, little kids, send your parents around the house looking for little circular stuff. This will just make it easy. I like trying to draw circles to see if I can make a perfect circle, but in all actuality, they're kind of hard sometimes. So, I got all different sizes. So, we'll need those for our little art project here this morning. So, okay, let me check the time one more time. We've got about 11:02. Let's wait like 2 more minutes, and we'll let everybody pop on. So, this is what we're going to read this morning. And then also in my supplies list for my watercolors, I have a clean cup of water, and I have a dirty water cup. So this is where I'll wash my brush out, and I'll get clean water for my watercolors. Paper towels, always necessary. You can never have too many paintbrushes. This is maybe just a small fraction of what I have. And then, what else was it? Oh, you need a pencil to be able to draw your circles. I'm actually going to draw mine with a Sharpie so you can show them. And then I've got a canvas board here. It's really hard, but it is wrapped in canvas. This will be really good for my acrylic paints, but I also have, here, let me show you. This is my acrylic board here, and I'll be kind of jumping back and forth. And then I also have watercolor paper. This will be really good for coloring with watercolors. Your markers will show up really well. Your crayons and everything may work on both. We'll test it. We'll see. So, all right. Well, I think we're, people can hop on and listen as we're going, but we said we were going to start around 11, so here we go. If you'll pause for just 1 second, I'm going to turn the music down. So, everybody, I'm still here, but I forgot to do that before I went live. And we're back. Okay. I always love to listen to music whenever I am painting or being creative. If anything, I get lost in the music and I just let it take me on my own journey. So there we go. We're going to read The Dot. I was gifted this at Christmas. I had never read it before, and it now is like one of my favorite things. I'm like, have y'all read this? Have y'all read this? So now I'm going to read it to you. So Peter H. Reynolds. I'm actually going to read the inside of the cover because it's so very sweet. So let's all take a deep breath, find our calm, and let's get creative together. So right inside the cover it says, just make a mark and see where it takes you. The words of Vashti's teacher are a gentle invitation to self-expression. But Vashti can't draw. She's no artist. To prove her point, Vashti jabs at the blank sheet of paper, leaving an unremarkable angry dot. There, she says. That one little dot marks the beginning of Vashti's journey of surprise and self-discovery. That one little dot marks the beginning of Peter H. Reynolds' delicate fable about the creative spirit that we have in all of us. That one little dot marks the beginning. That's sweet. Okay. So here we go. And I know it's backwards for you guys, but I'm going to read a little bit and show you the sweet little pictures of that. So, art class was over, but Vashti sat glued to her chair. Her paper was empty. She looks a little mad. Vashti's teacher leaned over the blank paper. Ah, a polar bear in a snowstorm, she said. Very funny, said Vashti. I just can't draw. Whoops. Can't is a very strong word. Her teacher smiled. Just make a mark and see where it takes you. So there's her teacher. Vashti grabbed the marker and gave the paper a good, strong jab. There! Oof, she looks very mad. I do not recommend doing that with your markers because it'll hurt them. Her teacher picked up the paper and studied it carefully. She pushed the paper towards Vashti and quietly said, now, sign it. Vashti thought for a moment. Well, maybe I can't draw, but I can sign my name. So there she is, signing her name. She still looks a little mad, though. The next week in when Vashti walked into art class, she was surprised to see what was hanging above her teacher's desk. It was the little dot that she had drawn. Her dot, all framed in swirly gold. Huh, I can make a better dot than that. As I knock everything over here. She opened her never-before-used set of watercolors and set to work. All right. Vashti painted and she painted. A red dot, a blue dot, a purple dot, a yellow dot. The blue mixed with the yellow, and she discovered that she could make a green dot. Vashti kept experimenting, lots of little dots in many, many colors. She is on fire. She is painting away. All right. Look at that. She's smiling now, too. If I can make little dots, I can make big dots, too. Vashti splashed her colors with a bigger brush on a bigger paper to make bigger dots. Look how big that paper is. It's bigger than she is. Hi, Sierra. Vashti even made a dot by not painting a dot. Let's see what that means. Do you guys see the white dot? She painted everything around it. So this is called negative space. And she made a negative space dot. At the art show a few weeks later, Vashti's many dots made quite a splash. So look here. She has her very own art show. Look at all the different kinds of dots that she created. Isn't that fabulous? Vashti noticed the little boy gazing up at her. "You're a really great artist. I wish I could draw," he said. "I bet you can," said Vashti. "Me? Not me. I can't draw a straight line with a ruler." So here's Vashti talking to the little boy. Vashti smiled. She handed the boy a blank sheet of paper and said, "Show me." The boy's pencil shook as he drew his line. Vashti stared at the boy's squiggle and said, "Please, will you sign it?" The end. Isn't that just the sweetest little story? It just gives me chills. I'm surprised I didn't cry. If I probably hadn't read it earlier practicing, I probably would have cried with it. So let's make some dots, everybody. Let's make all kinds of dots. Are y'all ready to be creative? Isn't that just the sweetest little story? All right. All right, I'm going to turn the music back on and let me know if it's distracting. I've just got guitar instrumental music on in the background. I do not own the rights to these songs. We have to say that stuff nowadays. All right, I am going to actually start by making my dots. I'm going to get out my things here. Let me move my crayons and things. And I'll be jumping back and forth on the different kinds of papers just to see. Whoop. Let's see if we can not flip the camera over. All right. Okay. So first, anybody know what this was? It's an empty cat food bowl. It's amazing what you save when you're in an art studio. I'm going to try to do this standing up. So whenever you go to place your little item, whatever it is, you want to have good pressure on it. You want to hold it down really good so it doesn't slide when you're trying, just like that, so it doesn't slide. So I'm going to put my pencil right up against the edge of my little item here, and I think I'm actually drawing on, there we go. So, and you don't have to go all the way around. Do whatever you need to do to make a dot. Okay, so let me see here. I'm going to go over to this one, and I'm actually going to use a pencil with this one because on my watercolors, my black marker will bleed when I go to paint it. So with acrylics, it really doesn't matter. So here's one. Can you see that? Oh, good. Good. Okay. I've got a miniature red Solo cup. Well, I promise. That's funny. All right. All right, I'm gonna hold this one on. I've actually already used this one for my acrylic, but I'm gonna go back over top of it. I'm gonna hold it down and go back over top of it with my Sharpie. So just make sure your pencil is pushed right up against it and you're holding firm. And you know what? It's okay if you have wobbly dots too. It's okay. Let's see, we're gonna use this one over here. All right, so make your dots at your leisure. I'm gonna make a great big dot here. This might be the same size. There we go. That looks to be about the same size as the cat food. I'm gonna, you know what, for just a second, I'm gonna pull this one right here. I don't know if you can see it, but I just want to make sure. All right, so I'm just doing one dot for every little thing that I collected. so now you get to decide, are you going to actually paint your dots, or are you going to paint around your dots and let your dots be your negative space? You get to make those choices. That's what the fun part is. I'm not even thinking about where I'm putting my dots. I'm just throwing them on there. Don't want to overthink anything. And look at this. I've got a water bottle cap. Can everybody see? I'm sorry. And I'm gonna put this one right up here. Woo, that one's got a little wave to it. I like it. Got a little swiggle to it. And then I'm gonna move this one here. I'm going at all this with an odd angle, so I'm not trying too hard, because this is just gonna be an indication of where we're gonna put our dots. Okay, let's see. Now I've got a great big circle. And I think I'm gonna put this guy right there. That's gonna be fun. Okay, so since we're out of school, a lot of us are out of school, why don't we count our dots? How many different dots do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dots. I should have 6 dots on both sides. So here we go. Everybody ready to start coloring or painting? You can come back and watch this video, do as many dots as you want to later. Let's see. Make sure that you have your water cups ready if you're using acrylic paint or watercolor. All right, so first, I'm actually going to use a crayon. I want to see what it does on my canvas board to see actually how it colors in. I've chosen the color indigo because it's the first one that was on the top. And does anybody else love the smell of crayons? It's one of my favorite things. I know, I'm weird, you can tell. All right, so I'm gonna take this, ooh, and I'm gonna color him in. And it is okay to color outside the lines. There are no rules on making our dots. All we have to do is just be creative. So, for you little bitty ones, just know the more pressure that you make on a crayon, like I'm pushing really hard, can you tell how it's getting darker right there? So if I press really light, then it doesn't cover nearly as much. I think I'm gonna come back in, and so I'm gonna just shade the top part of this, come in, and I'm gonna make him kind of a creative dot. A little half moon in there. All right, now I'm gonna come over with my same color on my watercolor paper. Whoop, let me knock everything over again. Oh, we see, oh, it's a much stronger color. And you know, sometimes it's easy when we're coloring to outline what we're coloring first and then color in all the dots. I've never colored at this angle before, so this is a good new challenge for me. All right. How fun is that? Okay. So that was my crayon. Next, for those of you that are using coloring pencils, let's use, ooh, that's a pretty color. Trying to use fairly bright colors so you can look. I'm gonna do the small one on my canvas board with my coloring pencil. Can everybody see? All right. Oh, so it looks like that the coloring pencil actually works a little bit better on the canvas board. Now once you're done with your markers and your watercolor paper, you can go back and color in or outline your dots if you want to. That one colors a little bit better. Okay? I love that you guys are here just coloring with me. Makes me so happy. Now, you do not have to go as fast as I'm going. I'm just doing this as quickly as possible so I can show you all the different mediums without keeping you here until 2 o'clock this afternoon. I mean, I'll hang out and color with you all day if you want to, but let's see. All right. So what do you think we're going to use next? We've used crayons, then coloring pencils. We're going to go to the markers. Okay. Putting my pencils back where they belong. It's good to keep your art supplies together. Okay, let's go for a really bright color this time. All right, I'm using orange on my canvas board. It actually is working pretty well. There's a little bit of graininess in there, but that's okay. And you know what? When you're coloring, the fun part is things are portable. So sometimes you gotta turn them to get all those little edges. And when we're drawing, especially circles, our hand just going from back to forward makes a natural circle. So sometimes it's easier to get in there. Woo-hoo, colored outside the line, that's okay. And then I'm gonna turn this guy over and fill him in. So now that I've been using the marker on the canvas board, it's starting to wear out a little bit, but that's okay. Okay, let's see, which one should we do for this one? I'm gonna do this one here. And actually, I'm gonna turn my marker on its side, kind of use it like a paintbrush. And just fill him in. So in the next weeks or so, I'm just going to be popping on randomly and doing some live videos. That way, as I have time, I'll be doing, hey Susie, I'll be doing other stories, but I'm also going to do adult classes too. Not necessarily just for adults. The kids can definitely hang on. We just won't, or hang in there and do it with you. We'll just not have story time with it unless I find a really good art book. Okay, so now I'm going to jump into my watercolor palette. Okay, so the thing with watercolors, just so you know, the more water you add to it, the lighter the color gets. So if you want a really strong purple color, just add a little bit of a dot of water. Haha, a dot. So I just barely put any water on my brush, and then I'm gonna actually get really strong in there, get a lot of paint on my brush. So you see it's not dripping out, so I don't have a ton of water on there. All right, and then I don't know if this will work on the canvas board because there's nothing for it to absorb to, so let's learn together. All right, oh, it does. But it is not doing a whole lot, so I'm gonna add just a little bit more water so we can move that around. There we go. And the fun thing is, just move that watercolor around as much as you need to. If you want a lighter color, just go back and get more water and just move it around that way. You do not have to put it back in the paint if you want a lighter color. I'm actually gonna pick up a little bit more paint. Turn my board so I can get to it. And I think I just set it in the acrylic paint. So let's move that out of the way. Let's have a little cleanup moment. Always be aware of where you have your paint. Most of my clothes have paint on them, but that's okay. And I want to give a shout out to my friend Jana for making this t-shirt for me. It says AWO, Art Wide Open on the back. So, okay, so that was a little shout out moment. All right. All right, we've got him colored in. That was on the canvas board. So now we're gonna jump over here to our watercolor board and see just how different it works. Whoop. There we go. All right, oh, look at that, a little bit of a stronger color. And these are just your basic Crayola watercolors. You can get really expensive watercolors too that come in the tube, and they you don't need nearly as much of that paint to make a strong color. Oh, I kind of like how he looks. Let's see, clean him up a little bit. I'm just going to take my brush and go round and round and experiment. Instead of just trying to color him in, I'm going to give him a little bit of texture. Okay. All right. So I'm done with my watercolor brush. So I'm going to put that in the water. Move that out of the way. And then I'm going to move into my acrylics. So the thing with acrylic paints and watercolor paper is it will absorb the water out of the acrylic, so it can't, you may have to use it a little thicker on there. Okay, so back to our acrylic, and I'm gonna do, because I love to paint with more than one color on my brush, again, this is what I call reckless abandon. I'm gonna actually pick up a little bit of my phthalo green and a little bit of my dark blue and mix those together, and look at that pretty color. And I'm going to leave those dark blue and light streaks in it to see how it's going to look. Oh yeah, I like it a lot. Now if you'll notice, my acrylic is going to cover up the black if I go over the line. So I don't know if you can see that I went over the line a little bit, and it actually covered it up because acrylic turns to plastic once it's dry, and it's a very, that's why I like using acrylic, is because it covers everything up. Okay, I'm gonna scoot this just a little closer. All right, y'all still with me? We're getting to our last dot. Second to last now. Okay. So you could have done all your dots in shades of purple, in different shades of purple. You could have done all your dots in different shades of pink. This would be a fun one to do with watercolors and add more water in each dot, have a really strong color in one. It's not a super round dot, but it's fun trying to paint from this direction here. So I'm gonna turn him upside down so I can get him in. So since I still have some of that color on my brush, I'm gonna come around and straighten him out. But again, he does not have to be straight. All right, so let's switch over to the watercolor paper, and I'm gonna do this guy up here. Ooh, that went on really smooth. Annie Lou, I love that you're coloring outside the lines. That's where you're supposed to live anyway, outside the lines. We're not meant to be in a box. We're meant to have our own expression and our own. Look at that. Woo! Kind of like it. It's a little crazy, but I kind of like it. I'm going to take my brush around him, be a little creative with him instead of just color him in. I like how it's dragging. Filling it in just a little bit. Almost like sunshine rays. How fun is that? All right. I'm going to leave him just like that, because I like it like that. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and use acrylic for my last one since my brush is already dirty. I'm actually going to go, let's see, we've got a really pretty turquoise color. We've got a really pretty blue color, orange, pink. Let's see. I think we need some green. All right, isn't that right, Lily? Do we need some green? That's Lily's favorite color, so we're going to do some green. I'm going to mix a little bit of my phthalo green and a bright yellow. And I already had the turquoise on my brush, so I just added the littlest bit of white to it. And we've got this fun little lime green color. But I'm going to have to make more. But that's okay. I kind of dig it. All right. Let's see. So I'll show you how I made that. A lot of yellow. And I just kind of go off the side of my paintbrush, or the side of my paint, and mix colors somewhere else. So, although I just went right into the yellow and white there. I'm not going to be using this paint for anything else. So, all right. Let's see if we can get him colored in very well. Ooh, I made a different color green, but that's okay. Fun, 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 fun. Move that around. Ta-da, 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 ta-da. Here we go. All right. All right. And then one more green dot to go. I'm going to actually move that so I don't glue those two together. I'm going to add just a little bit of green, more green, on my brush, and fill that one in. All right. I have had absolutely so much fun doing this. You know, everything that's going on right now, it's forcing me really to color outside the lines. It's forcing me out of my comfort zone. One of my least favorite things to do in school was actually read in front of the class. I was absolutely terrified. My voice would shake. I would stumble over the words. But then I got a job years later that forced me to be on stage and teach people how to use stuff. So I really had to get over it. I really had to get over it. I didn't want to get over it. And still, you know, there are moments where I get really nervous and a little scared, but that's okay, because it's outside the lines and outside of our comfort zones that we really grow as human beings. And it's okay to be scared, and it's okay to be nervous, but all you have to do is just take that first step forward and just try. Like Vashti, she didn't think that she was an artist, and she had her very own art show just by making a little dot. That one little first mark that she made angrily, is what turned her into a great little artist. She found her confidence, she found her spot and her lane, and that's why I'm constantly painting things that I've never painted before, just to see if I can. So how fun. It looks like a bunch of planets. Let's set them up here side by side. Look at the 2 different color greens that I made just by adding different colors. I don't know if you guys can see the whole thing, but there it is there. Now then, I'm not going to do this part right on live, but I probably will go ahead and take one of these. I really like how this purple one with the watercolor showed up on the canvas board, so I may use watercolor to do my outside background. And let's do, hold on just a second, if you're still with me for 2 seconds, let's pick up, let's see, what did I do with my watercolor? You can come in with the colors that you already have and just, if you want, color in the background. So that's watercolor. Ooh, I got too much water on there. It's starting to drip, but that's okay if I just move it across a little bit more. And it's okay if you see the brush strokes. That's part of the fun. Okay. All right. So I'm not going to finish this one off with you guys. You can do whatever you want, but I really, really, really do hope that you will send me pictures of your finished products, and allow me to post those on the page. Again, I'm so very grateful to have been here with you. I'm gonna go ahead and put my brush up with you this morning again, and again, I am here if you guys have any suggestions about what you would like to see me try to paint. I'm gonna go ahead and put this up. It is not necessary that that you tip or donate, but there are my Venmo and my PayPal accounts. You can send money through Facebook as well. You if you choose to do so, and it is a-okay if you don't. I'm going to continue to do these because I'm actually finding myself being more creative and really thinking more outside of the box, and trying to figure out new ideas of, well, what can I do to share with you guys? I don't want the videos to be super long because I don't want you to get bored, but I love that we're doing this together. And if you missed the video, share it with I'm going to save it to the page and I'll put it on my YouTube page. And if you want to share it with your people, share it with your mom groups and the What's Happening in Fairhope and doing all that stuff. So again, thank you so much for joining me this morning, and I will be coming up with new ideas as we go. So farewell for now. Everybody stay safe and stay away from each other, and we'll get through this, because with activities like this we can be together at the same time. So I love you all. Blessings and light and love to everyone, and I'm sending you virtual hugs. Mwah. I love you. Have a great day, everybody.